According to the Centers for Disease Control, a recent study confirmed that autism and related disorders in the United States nearly doubled from 10 years ago, so that now we are seeing a prevalence of 1 in 252 girls and 1 in 54 boys. Parents of these children are enormously impacted by the needs of these children, and their health takes a toll on our federal budget in the way of healthcare costs and education costs. It behooves us to find out the causes and stamp them out. Will you support research in this area? And if it is found that the environmental toxins are causing these problems, what will you do to industries that put these toxins in our air, water, and soil? James?
Well, I think I would definitely support it, because I'd also support the study of the entire family, not just the child, but the entire family and the environment it lives in, because I think they're related. The example how TV could impact people, and any industry that I found that was in polluting the air, the water, or the soil, I would have them stop their industry if they weren't willing to correct it within 90 days.
Okay. Mr. Claus, would you address this problem of autism rates going sky high and how it's impacting our healthcare industry and the toxins?
Yeah, sure. I read that they have gone sky high. I believe it is due to environmental factors and also genetic modification of certain organisms that we're taking in through one way or another. And I think if it's demonstrable that a particular company or companies or set of companies is contributing to this by polluting our environment, that if there's enough scientific evidence, and I believe that already exists personally, they should first be fined, and if that's not adequate for them to, if it's not an adequate enough measure for them to stop doing what they're doing, they should be put out of business immediately.
Now, some of these industries that are polluting this way, say for example, I don't know for a fact that plastics is a contributor, but I happen to I have read information about plastics having a very bad toxic waste stream. But some of those industries create things that save lives. So there's a lot of plastics in the medical industry that if they did not exist, we would not be alive today. So there's a cost and a benefit. And then there's also the question of what will the cost of cleaning up or containing these toxics increase. It would increase the users' end use cost. So then you're talking about the price of things, goods going up. Would we factor all that in before we just close down a company?
I think we would, but I think there are ways to separate the manufacture and use of certain things that might be toxic with compared to their disposal process, and how one either gets rid of it, or if there's no way to get rid of it in a safe manner, then they shouldn't be producing it in the first place. I think the cost-benefit analysis, we've sort of lost sight of. Yes, there are benefits to society for certain things that are manufactured, produced, sold, services, etc., that are harmful to people. But
okay,
you either love people or you don't.
The other thing, though, is we don't even look at these issues. Like a lot of these companies, people aren't paying attention to their processes, and maybe we just need to. We need to investigate more what these processes are, because then we can address them. Don, would you like to talk on this for about 30 seconds?
Yes, very much so. My main thing to point out to people is read the labels. Take a loaf of bread, read all of the preservatives, the coloring, and everything else you put in it. Look at the various canned fast foods that are out there that we feed our children. But we start out with the children with cereal and we make them sandwiches. Every day we're feeding them sandwiches. We feed them lunch meat maybe, or hot dogs. Look at the various chemicals that are in the hot dogs, the preservatives that are there. Almost everything's out there other than the canned vegetables. When I look at vegetables, all I want to see is vegetable and water. I don't want to see any added salt, sugar, anything else to it. I think it's all these preservatives. And like I said, when I worked at the USC Medical School there with the doctors, and we were dealing with autistic children, looking in to see what was causing this. And the consensus was many of it. The added coloring dyes, and all of these, the VHT, and monosodium glutamate, all these extra things added to our food. So it has to have some effect.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Okay, James, you have 30 seconds for rebuttal.
Well, I think we need to look at the cause of it all. It's our life. And we really are like a high-tech alien species that's taken over the world. We have these iPads, computers, and things, and we need to separate and put things in its proper order. There's a structure, order, and relationship to everything. And these excuses that we can't do it are an excuse. I agree with the other gentleman that with Don and Santa that the environment, the food chain, what Monsanto or Dow or anybody's doing can have a positive and negative effect, but we need to really clarify everything and put it in its proper order. There's no reason why we can't make it a better place to live.
Okay.